Most people believe they are in control of their lives, but if we are honest, most of us are not controlling our lives. We are reacting to them, reacting to thoughts, reacting to emotions, reacting to impulses that show up without permission. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Your brain is not your ally by default. Your brain is a survival machine. It is designed to keep you safe, not successful. It prioritizes comfort over growth, familiarity over possibility, and fear over potential. That voice in your head that says, "Do it tomorrow." That voice that says, "You are not ready." That voice that says, "What if it fails?" That is not wisdom. That is conditioning. If you let your brain run on autopilot, it will repeat the past and call it logic. The problem is not that you have negative thoughts. The problem is that you believe them. You think every thought deserves your attention. It does not. You think every emotion requires a reaction. It does not. Your brain generates thousands of thoughts every day. Many of them are outdated, irrational, or flat out false. Yet most people accept them without question, as if they were commands instead of suggestions. That is how the brain takes control. The moment you assume that every thought is you, you lose authority. Control begins with separation. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who hears them. You are not your emotions. You are the one who experiences them. The difference between being controlled by your brain and controlling your brain is awareness. When a thought appears and you immediately act on it, the brain is in charge. When a thought appears and you pause, observe it, and choose whether it serves you, you are in charge. That pause is power. Most people never pause. They feel anxiety and call it truth. They feel fear and call it intuition. They feel discomfort and call it a sign to stop. But discomfort is not danger. Fear is not prophecy. Anxiety is not instruction. Your brain will resist change even when change is exactly what you need. It will exaggerate risk and minimize reward. It will replay old failures and ignore new opportunities. That is not because you are weak. It is because your brain is efficient. Efficiency, however, is not the same as intelligence. To control your brain, you must interrupt its patterns. When your brain says, "I cannot," ask, "Based on what?" When it says, "This always goes wrong," ask, "Always?" When it says, "I am not enough," ask, "According to who?" Questioning your thoughts is not negativity, it is discipline. Another truth people avoid: your brain believes what you repeatedly tell it. If you rehearse doubt, the brain learns doubt. If you rehearse excuses, the brain learns avoidance. If you rehearse focus, resilience, and intention, the brain adapts. Neuroscience calls this neuroplasticity. In simple terms, your brain rewires itself around what you practice. You do not rise to the level of your motivation. You fall to the level of your mental training. Controlling your brain does not mean silencing it. It means directing it. You decide what inputs it receives. You decide which thoughts get reinforced. You decide whether emotions become signals or shackles. This is why routines matter. This is why reflection matters. This is why stillness matters. When you slow down, you regain authorship. The brain thrives on chaos and noise because it keeps you reactive. Silence forces clarity, and clarity threatens old patterns. If you want control, stop outsourcing your attention. Stop scrolling every free moment. Stop feeding your mind constant stimulation. Stop letting external voices drown out your internal authority. A controlled brain is not a rigid brain. It is a trained one. Training requires repetition, patience, and accountability. Some days you will catch the thought before it controls you. Some days you will not. Progress is not perfection. Progress is noticing sooner. The goal is not to eliminate fear. The goal is to move forward despite it. The goal is not to stop thinking. The goal is to think deliberately. Once you understand this, everything changes. You stop identifying with every mental storm. You stop obeying every internal alarm. You stop mistaking thoughts for facts. You become the one in the driver's seat. Your brain will still speak, but it will no longer decide. That is the shift. Stop letting your brain control you. Start to control your brain. Because the moment you do, your life stops being a reaction and starts becoming a decision.